Good evening, everyone, and this is the Rangers Rabble. Welcome along, and my name's Brian, and tonight I am joined by Scott and Mark. How you doing, boys?
All good.
All good, Brian. Fine.
Good, good. Hope everybody's well. Nice to be back after the international break, or near enough the international break. It's finishing tonight or tomorrow night, I think. So it's nice to be back, and it's generally going to be a chat about international stuff, and then a Q&A from all the listeners. So get your questions in for Mark and Scott and myself, and we'll answer them as best as we can, and we'll get on with it. So, Scott, what did you make of the international break so far?
To be honest with you, Brian, I'll tell you the God's honest truth. I've not really watched any. And that's maybe been true. I watched a bit of the Wales game. I seen the highlights of the Scotland game, but I don't really pay attention much to international football, to be honest with you. I used to years ago, but at this moment in time, I don't. I always look to see how the Rangers players have done, but I don't sit and watch games. Just be other reasons I've been occupied with other things, but I've not really sat and watched any game. I watched probably 50 minutes of the Wales game. Yeah, I won the 1-2-1 with Gareth Bale scoring a double, and I watched the highlights of the Scotland game after it on Sports Scene, but I've not really watched any others. Oh, I watched a small part of the England game, in Harry Kane's penalty, because my daughter was up on Friday night and she stays down there where fiance he comes for there, so he put it on when he came in. So I watched a small part of that, but apart from that, I'm not seeing any. Mark can answer.
Hello to the South Wales Loyal, usual viewers, CGM here. Evening all, watching the Scotland game now. So Ryan Jack's playing, but that is all of interest to me. I mean, Mark, I think that sums up a lot of the Rangers fans' feelings, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate them. I hate international breaks. That's just not for me at all. I'm not a fan of it. Don't get me wrong. I like a tournament. I like a World Cup or the Euros. I mean, I like a tournament, but it's not for me. International break is. I think it's if you've got any momentum running into these, it can either kill it or make it, can't it? And it's one of them ones I watch and I look out for just to make sure nobody's get injured. To be perfectly honest with you, sitting there with fingers crossed, legs crossed, everything crossed. Obviously, just praying everybody comes back fit and well, and we can kick on. As I say, this month coming up's massive for us, but good to see. I mean, I know a lot of the boys. It's a big thing for them to go and play for their country, and do you know what? That's fair enough. Because obviously we're never going to get the chance to do that. So, but a lot of these boys, a lot of players see this as the pinnacle of their career and stuff like that. So, as I said, you can live with them wanting to go and play for their country and stuff and represent them. So, as I said, fair play to them, but it's no for me. As I said, I'm on tender hooks just to make sure everybody's back in training.
Yeah. Channel member SG1642, evening troops. Not really interested in Scotland, need to say. Seems to be a common theme. CGM again. Patterson is playing too. I still think he's a decent spud. Yeah, he's kind of getting a bit wasted.
Which is strange, Brian, because when I was younger and I went to Scotland games with my dad or with my uncle, whatever, or even some of my friends at the time, I was all Rangers fans that supported Scotland back then.
Yeah.
I was a big audience of Rangers fans that supported Scotland because I remember Jim Bett, and I'm showing you how long ago this was, showing you my age. Jim Bett was playing for Scotland, and he was getting a bit of abuse, and the person who was getting a bit of abuse, he was getting a bit of abuse for fellow supporters because we're Rangers fans. So it shows you how things change.
Well, in saying that, Scott, I went to a few Scotland games pre 2012, and then latterly a year after 2012, and the change from before 2012 till the post 2012 was quite obvious to me.
Yeah,
you weren't really bothered who you supported before 2012, but then as soon as after 2012 happened, as soon as you were identified as a Rangers fan, it was not interested.
Yeah. Just to say, I see if Kamara's playing tonight for.
He's playing, yeah.
Davis started for Northern Ireland. That's two games, and I can't tell you the last time Stephen Davis played for Rangers, apart from maybe the Annan in the cup game. Yeah. He's in Bournemouth playing as well for Croatia, which is good to see him getting some minutes. So there's other players out there playing tonight. It's good to see Stephen Davis back. I still think he could play an important role between now and the end of the season for us.
What did you make of that, Mark? I seen the Croatia lineup, and Borna was in a. I think he was playing left wing back, so
Yeah,
he wasn't left
No,
back.
it was left to a 5, wasn't it, in the
Yeah.
middle?
So what did you make of that?
Do you know what? I think that's perfect for him. I really do. But it's one of the ones that it just needs to build a bit of confidence back. I mean, look, we were raving about him last season. It was outstanding. You're talking about one of the best left backs in Britain, never mind Scotland. And it's as if he's just fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
It's just,
been quite tragic, isn't it?
yeah, and you could physically see the confidence draining at him in one game. It's mad. And to be fair, I think that the likes are. I mean, if we've seen it, surely the backroom staff have seen that. So surely it's a case of we need to build this boy up, get him back in, we'll talk him up, give him a cuddle, even let him talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just the reason probably it's not as big a deal is because Bassie's been flying, he's been outstanding.
Yeah.
So we've obviously because Big Bassie's we've not really made that big a deal about it. We just went, well, he's off form. He's just, but it's been pretty dramatic. It really has. He's fall, and I can't you can't be such a good player one season and just no do it, just be a shell of a man.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe him. So, as I
You
said,
don't know if anything's going on behind the scenes, but either way,
possibly,
no agreement with somebody or
maybe he's
something going on in his personal life because
yeah, or maybe he's away. Maybe they know that somebody's come in with an offer and he's going in the summer, and that's affected him, or there's talk, or you just don't know. But something's not right.
Yeah.
I
It's
can
all
agree
with
with
it.
that.
It's a very, very strange one.
What about Stephen Davis? Do you think it's strange that he's playing 2 games in a row for Northern Ireland, considering
Very strange, isn't it?
he's not even gave us kicked a ball for us apart from Annan?
Well,
Yeah.
I said it before about Davis. I think Davis is a smashing player, but I just don't think he's got the legs to play in a system that Gio likes. I just don't. I don't think he's mobile enough for the way Gio wants to play, and I think that to me is the only reason he's not been playing.
See, I think he has, but I think he can play that system because look at him for Northern Ireland, the amount of running about he does for them. He's constantly
But
moving.
if you look at, so you'd probably be dropping Lundstrom for him to play, or Jack, but probably he was playing that kind of quarterback role, and we don't really play with that kind of quarterback role anymore.
No.
We play Lundstrom drops deep, so he drops and he's been doing this dropping in between the two centre halves. Davis can't do that. I mean, he probably could. He's good enough to do it, I suppose, but you need proper legs to do it, and I think that's the only downfall. And I think that we always say it's small margins, but I think that's the reason he's no getting the game time that he should do, because he's a fantastic player and he's a great leader.
It's not even a game time, Matt. He's not even on the bench either. But
No.
it's just
I don't know. Maybe
He's not even getting in squads, is he?
no.
Maybe there's been words because of him not playing. I mean, you look at he's not got many seasons or many games left in him, really.
No.
So if you're sitting on the bench and you know the career he's had, we all know the career he's had, and we all know the type of player he is he maybe chapped his door and said, "Here, look, what's the story? Why am I not playing?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. As I said, there's something, as I said, there that's not. And I think as well, maybe a wee bit it's Gio trying to stamp his authority in the team. This is now my team. I don't really know. It's all I know. It's all if and buts and maybes, but there's something there because he is good enough to play, especially in Scotland. He's better than most of the opponents that we're going to come up against. So even if he plays, but it's just that system. I just don't think we play with that kind of quarterback role. I don't think that role's there for him.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, and back to my original point, I don't think he's got the legs for it.
I disagree on that one. I still think he's got the legs. We know he's quick. I still think he's got the legs to get about the park for 90 minutes very comfortably.
there's a question from Rangers 72 I'm going to come back to because it's not sort of international rated, but I will come back to it. Nicholas Moore, I think you said this, Scott, right at the top. No Ramsey or Bale, so no interest in Wales friendly tonight for me. You said that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Try and get some more. Yep, see, there's another one from Mr. Tommy Boy. Been to 2 Scotland games and my first and last hated it. Totally different to a Rangers game. And I think even I heard that on TalkSport the other night from Jason Cundy. He was saying he'd rather Chelsea win the Champions League than England win the World Cup.
I think England's different. Time you watch England games on TV, there's flags for people like Chesterfield, Notts County, Gillingham. So I think it's all the lower teams fans that go and watch England because obviously their clubs don't really get into Europe. You see bigger clubs as well, don't get me wrong, but I think international teams seem to attract smaller clubs fan base because it's a chance to go abroad and follow your country. Like I say, I used to go and see Scotland. Majority were Rangers fans, and I used to love going to see Scotland when I was young. I remember going to the House Cup and Richard Gough scored the winner. And I even mentioned taking he done an Instagram post the other day and I put on it. I met him after the game and signed my programme, which I've still got. But back then, I mean, there's a lot of Rangers players in the Scotland team. I think you said, Brian, it was after probably 2012, 2014.
Yeah.
It wasn't great to be a Rangers fan to go to Scotland. I remember taking my son years ago. One of my daughters came with me. I think it was against France or Spain, one of the two. But Barry Ferguson got a power of abuse that night for Scotland fans. And I says, I'm not really going to come back here and sit in this kind of atmosphere because it was toxic.
It's been happening for a while as well. I think Ryan Jack got a bit of stick as well, didn't he? He's got a bit of stick when he come on as well.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care who you play for. If you're playing for your country, then that shouldn't be the case.
Aye, I agree with you.
And to be fair, it's almost as if they're making it personal.
Aye.
Well, we know why they're doing it.
Yeah, obviously,
But right, I'll come some questions non-international. So what do you think of this one, guys? Thoughts on the supposed leak Rangers home kit for next season? I think it's nice. Good to see the old school crew neck back. And then there was another comment down the low. Nicholas Moore thought it was fake. Now, this is the story about the guy that ordered the Legends top, and then this rather bizarre top came through the post, and it wasn't the Legends top. So, is it real or is it fake?
I have no clue.
I don't know. Somebody's went to an awful lot of trouble to knock up a fake. As far as I'm concerned, it seems a bit. Don't get me wrong. There's lunatics out there that would do such things. Do you know what I mean? But it seems like an awful lot of trouble because the amount of shirts that Rangers sell, I would quite happily and quite easily believe that they've already went into production on a new kit to try and get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these kits are going to. I mean, how many times have you went onto the website and you couldn't get a size for loving their money? So there's every possibility that these strips are already getting made, and it might have went as a mistake. But what a mistake to make! Somebody's got the sack. But
I agree with you, because I think Eddie Hammond, because I've seen the comments, I think Castor could do that because they make that many. They just bring out tops for the sake of bringing out tops. They don't really bring in other stuff. And you walk into a Rangers shop and there's not a lot in it. If you've got young kids, there's not a lot in it to buy them. It's just all basically clothing.
Yeah, it's no tack. I think that's been the general sort of complaint. There's no sort of key rings and general rubbish for kids to buy.
I was in at the Legends game. It cost me a small fortune. I had my eldest and my young nephew in with me, and it cost me a small fortune. But even like the likes of Rangers mugs wanted like 12 and 14 quid for the thing.
Yeah,
I know.
A mug.
I know.
So, the mugs buy the mugs.
Aye, well, you're 100% right. But I don't know. It seems like very, very elaborate for it to be fake. I just think that, to be fair as well, I didn't mind the strip either. I always liked it. It was always my favourite top, the one with the checks on it, the soonest one.
Yeah,
the Admiral made that. Was it Admiral made that or Umbro?
Umbro, it was Umbro, wasn't it? With McCoon's lager with the round neck with the button, the wee button on.
Yeah.
But that was always my favourite, so I quite liked the whole fact that it was checkered like that and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's one of the ones that time's going to tell. But
I just like a blue kit. A plain blue kit. See the one we brought out a few years back. I think we might be down the second or the third at that time, but just the plain blue one.
it was
The
very
badge.
old school, wasn't it?
Aye,
With a big RFC on it.
I just like
That
that.
was smart. That was Umbro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just think that's class because it's simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
White
like that as well.
shorts and red and black socks. I don't know why the red and black socks just wear red socks, but it's just red, white, and blue. It's nothing hard about it.
No. The thing is, as well, I mean, I seen a couple of comments the other day about this, and there's not really a lot you can do with a blue kit. Do you know what I mean? Blue's blue. So it's hard to
It's the same across the city, innit? You buy one of their strips. You never need to buy one again because they're always they all look the same apart with the sponsor.
Just once it goes grey, that means it's official. Once it's been washed out, then aye. But as I said, we could talk about kits all day, but Castor only daft, I mean, I know they get proper stick, but the amount of money they've made, I mean, even bringing out Legends tops, not. I mean, they know they're going to buy them. They know we're all going to go off, sit and moan about it and say, like Kel's just said there, a strip every 5 minutes, but we're still all going to buy them.
I know.
Every single one is will go and buy them because it's a Rangers top.
Put it in your basket and leave it there for a couple of days and they send you a 10% discount code.
but this is the thing, isn't it? As I said, they're no daft. But if we're going and buying it and they're making hundreds of strips, then the club's making money. So, I mean, they're no daft. And although we slag them about the club's making money hand over fist because we're buying, I think, is there 6 strips out this year?
66, I think. I don't know, man. Strips for everything.
Well, as long as it's 56.
They've brought out strips for absolutely everything this season. I'm not surprised they'll bring an Easter kit out or something. Or something. If we get through the next round of the Europa League, we'll bring another one out for that. It just, you go up to the shop and there's kits for everything. And it's, to be fair to them, some of them are okay quality, but some of them are poor.
Yeah.
I like the embroidered badges. I don't like just the ironed on ones.
Yeah. But somebody was saying as well that, obviously talking about this fake, back to this fake strip thing, whether it was fake or whether it was real, somebody said that they'd have been happy with the Legends top being next year's strip as well. Because I thought that was like a nod to the night one, wasn't it? The kind of Marco Negri kind of strip. That was nice. That was a cracking strip.
Yeah.
I like
Now, we'll jump ahead a wee bit towards this question is towards Sunday. And it's a fairly simple question. Will Alfie play on Sunday? Yes or no?
I think so, yes. I think I'm hoping, but I think we're playing a wee bit of mind games. Is what I think.
Are we tapping into the historical Celtic sort of tactics?
I hope so, yeah.
Scott?
I think he will play. I think if he's 80% fit, 70% fit, I think he'll start. Might not last a game, but I think he will play. I think when you want him in the park, he gives you a different dimension, doesn't he? For others, I know Ruth's been playing okay since he's come back a wee bit, and Sakala's kind of hit and miss for me, but we have got options, but I think Alfie's our best option because he just offers so much with the way we're playing. He's a nuisance to play against as well, so I think he will play.
And Chris Stewart. All right, lads. Looks like the Nigeria boys have got through okay. Bassi was subbed off on the 88th minute. So, and I mean, this is the thing now, Scott. A few years ago we were lucky to get any players on international duty. Now it's back to worldwide. They're all over the place, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's great to see because obviously they're representing Rangers, but in a selfish way, you don't want them to be playing either, especially when we've got an important month coming up, Brian. So I'd have been happy if nobody went away at national duty this month, but the players want to play for the country, or they all do, because I suppose when you're a football player playing for the country, it might be the pinnacle thing to do. So, and they want to play World Cups and stuff like that. I mean, next season they're going to look at it as a World Cup halfway through a season, so it'll be strange to watch how that pans out halfway through the season. But it's good to see the lads playing in internationals. But from being a selfish point of view, I wish I'd done slight knocks ahead of this month.
Just on the Nigeria thing, did Big Balogun go with him?
Mm-hmm.
He did, aye.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Balogun, Aribo, and Bassi all went. So, Mark, we'll take you to this. Will Ramsey play on Sunday? I'm not so sure after the comments from the Welsh camp on his fitness despite a good performance against Austria. Now, I thought his post-match he said he just had cramp, but that's not giving me much confidence now.
I think what I got was him and Bale were struggling a wee bit towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that means they were fit. They were just dead on their feet, or kind of maybe cramping up a wee bit, and then they were bringing them off. They needed a rest, but I've heard conflicting things as well, and we spoke about it prior that when the stories come out about him being injured and going to miss the Old Firm, he posted his Instagram a couple of photos of him training.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whether maybe that's a two fingers up to the press, or I hope it is. But for me, we brought him into playing big games, and this is the biggest game that's we've had in years, I think.
I did see somebody on Twitter today say, or I think it was yesterday, this is the week that you basically don't believe anything that's written in the newspapers.
Yeah.
I think that's universally agreed with all Rangers fans, isn't it?
I think anything printed in the newspapers about Rangers is stick it in the bin. Just forget about it, because it's all mince. I think they've kind of closed ranks, haven't they? So they're just, if they've not got a story, they'll just make it up. Simple as that. So I wouldn't. I think that you're going to know. You're only going to know, and I hope that this is the case, that you're only going to know an hour before kickoff.
Aye.
And I hope that that's the case, and I hope that everybody's fit.
Yeah. Right. Scott, we'll take this to you, seeing you've got an eye on the youth. Speaking of youngsters, CGM, it looks like Villa are going to rob us of young Wilson. And then Teddy Bear came in and said Wilson was offered the best first contract we've ever offered anyone. He said no, so if he doesn't want to be here, then bolt.
I don't think he's not back in officially according to Rangers. I'm not talking to some of the folk that go and watch youth team. They've said the same. If his head's been turned by Aston Villa, by all accounts Manchester United, Liverpool and Newcastle were looking at him as well. It's a lot to deal with for a young kid, because you see me Billy Gilmore, with the money he got, even if he didn't make it, it's life-changing money.
Set for life.
Yeah.
And he sets him up probably for the rest of his life, so it's very difficult. I would say he's probably got a better pathway at Rangers. Get him beginning in the first team. Some folk might argue and say he hasn't. I probably say he has. Rory Wilson's done really well. The 15's been scored again tonight for Scotland under 17s. So it shows you how well he's doing. If he makes that big move down south, will he make it? Who knows? If he goes to a bigger club, he might end up in the Championship later on in League One. So he'll earn himself a decent wage, but it's money we earn when he goes. You can get money. Rangers can't give him that money, Brian, because we need to give that money to first team players.
Yeah.
We can't be giving that to 16-year-olds, because we've just no in that financial domain like the English clubs are, and that's the difference between us and them. And I think that's the only reason he maybe goes down there money wise, because Villa's no bigger than Rangers. Yeah, they play in the Premiership and stuff, but
he's not going to get he's not getting a game for Villa, is he?
The Villa's got a lot of strikers loaned out over the Championship and League One, so he's going to go down there and just be another number. Does it? Like I say, will he make it? If he does, good luck to him. If he stays at Rangers, which I hope he does, even better. But at this age, you don't know who's going to make it and who hasn't. So you have to sometimes take. You might think, if I don't take this, will I get the opportunity again? You don't know what's going through his head. He probably will have an agent at 16, so you don't know what they're telling him. And obviously, his parents might give him some advice as well. But Rangers can only offer what we can afford to offer. You don't want to be pushing a boat out for a 16-year-old, and then all the other lads are asking for that as well, because we can't afford it. We need to. We'll be investing in the first team during the summer, because there's players out of contract that players might be leaving. Whereas Aston Villa can afford to give them maybe 10, 15, 20 grand a week. That's a different planet for us. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I don't think he's the only young player in our academy that's getting watched, because we've got a lot of exciting players in the academy. but it's just some will stay, but some might disappear elsewhere. It's just the way academy football teams pinch them off each other, and English teams have got a track record come up to Scotland and pinching young boys.
Yep, totally
Yeah,
agree.
just on that, I mean, what Kerr was saying there, you don't want to set a precedent, don't you know? That all of a sudden, well, he got it. So is he better than me? And you know, a lot of these, they talk about life-changing money, but even the likes of saying to their mum and dad, we'll buy a house and we'll do this for you and we'll do that for you. I mean, a lot of that goes on, especially young boys. And I mean, you go at I see your man Dan never had much, and somebody's going like, look, I'll buy a 4-bedroom house and we'll move you down there and we'll set you up and we'll sort you out jobs-wise and all that. And
a no-brainer.
So it's a new life for the whole family. Do you know what I mean? It's not just a young boy going and playing football. So,
EDM's just mentioned Ben Doak for Celtic. I mean, he scored a hat-trick tonight for Scotland, but Liverpool are seriously interested in taking him. He'll be the same. He'll not stay at Celtic if Liverpool come in with big money, because, like you say, even if he doesn't make it, it's life-changing money for the lad. And you said he becomes a main wage earner in his family, doesn't he, at 16, which is... And he'll probably a lot more will look at Billy Gilmour and think, well, look what he's done. There's also a flip side to it, and look, some players do struggle down there. You just have to look at Nathan Patterson. It probably was the right move for Nathan at the time because what we were getting. But Nathan in his mind's probably, I don't say he regrets it, but he probably wishes maybe been back at Rangers, because all he wants to do at the end of the day is play football, and he's struggling at Everton.
Yeah. It's time for my version of the shameless plug. So we're back live on Friday with the Old Firm preview at 7:30 on Friday evening. So we'll be back on the YouTube for that. We're live on Facebook and Twitter as well. There's various sets. There's various levels for the YouTube, isn't there, Scott?
Yeah, there's various levels. I'm not
Membership
sure what
levels. So
I think that's just one. I think it's just to subscribe and you get an emoji or whatever you get. And I don't know, Martin would be able to tell you more. Martin's in charge of all. I've not got a clue.
Martin was saying he's getting a $5 for every subscriber. Is that not what he was saying?
No, I think it's down. I think it's down. But you can donate on the channel if you want to donate to the pod. And
I'm saying Martin's dishing out money.
Oh, Martin's dishing it.
Yeah.
Martin dishes out abuse, nothing else.
So Mark's photo on Twitter with his S-Class Merc outside Ibrox. Can you lend me a tenner?
So it's all show, no go.
How can you afford the fuel for that?
I can't. I just left it there. Oh, it took me half a day to push it, didn't it?
SG 1642. The Rangers.
He has got a point. He has got a point.
The planship during the internationals. Was listening back the other day out with the dog, and Sharpie's PlayStation comment thought folk I was laughing off my arse. That was a good one, I must admit.
I think it's maybe because a lot of us don't really like international football. So as you can see, me and Mark struggling to talk about international football, and the rest of the boys have no interest whatsoever, which is sad in a way, because you would like us to be involved in cheering the country on, but just the way probably the nation is at the moment, it is divided.
Yeah, they don't talk about Rangers all day, every day for hours and hours. But I say just Scotland. It's something that over the years. I mean, I was the same as Kerr. I liked watching Scotland back in the day, and but just over the years, it's just the taste in your mouth get worse and worse and worse and worse over the years, and to the point where, I mean, I've said it to, obviously I worked down south with a lot of boys for England and stuff like that, and they're like, you know, watching the Scotland game. I'm like, no. And they can't understand why I'm not, because obviously they'll all religiously watch an England game, no matter who they support, and they'll all cheer them on, and they'll all want them to see them doing well. Which I don't dislike Scotland, and I don't ever want them to no qualify and no do well and get beat. But I'm very much, I see if they're playing in my back garden, I might watch 15 minutes of it and then pull the line shut. You know what I mean? It's not something that excites me.
Especially the size of your back garden, Mark. You probably get a dog in as well.
It's all right. I'll just push your hot tub to one side.
Here's one for you now for Sunday. Just a quick question. I'd replace Aribo with Lowry. I don't think the old firm would phase Lowry, and Aribo has been short for a while. Discuss.
That is actually quite a good point because I think Lowry would I like wouldn't be phased whatsoever because he's seen another week. I know it was an academy game, but he was a standout there and playing against Celtic's first team. He wouldn't be phased. But the problem is, I don't think Gio would go that way. I think Gio will play Aribo. And if Aribo wasn't fit, it'd probably be Ramsey if he was fit. And I think Lowry's time will come next season. But if it happened, it wouldn't bother me because I think he's good enough to go and play on Sunday and shine.
Do you agree, Mark?
I definitely think he's good enough to go and play and go and shine. 100% agree with that. I think that it's maybe too big a game to fling a young boy into. But he's on kind of know my opinion. If you're good enough, you're old enough. I've said it in the past before. I think that he's if Ramsey's fit and Aribo's fit, I think they both play. I really do. I think they both play. Lowry, I think by all means, give him the last half hour, 25 minutes. If Aribo's not cutting it, or even if Ramsey's struggling fitness wise, but I don't know. I don't think he starts. As I said, that I think the wee man's going to be a superstar. I think that they're using him wisely. I think that they're blooding him and giving him a taste just enough to keep him hungry. And I think that when he come on, he's impressing, and I think he's going to have a big season next year. I think next year's going to be a massive season for him. But I think it's just maybe too big a game for the young boy to start. I think to a certain extent, it's maybe no fair flinging a young boy in. It's such a big game. Different if we were 6 points clear, then by all means. But I think that it's a game like that you could ruin the wee guy if he doesn't shine and he has a stinker. Then it's probably no worth sticking him in straight away and making him start. But as I said, I do think he's good enough. I think the wee guy is going to be an exceptional talent. I think that we need to get him tied down long term as well. I think that needs to be a priority. But I think the likes of Ramsey's probably going to be away, so he's going to have a lot more time, a lot more playing time. So, but I think maybe too early to fling him in such a big game.
I don't think it's too early. I just don't think Joe would do it, to be honest with you. And has he signed a new contract yet?
Don't think so.
I haven't seen anything.
So, you need to get him tied down, don't they? They can't afford to let it run down because I think he's one that's going to be catching eye other teams as well. And the only thing matter is if he play him a few more first team games, his wage demand might be higher, and maybe the club are thinking that way as well because the club like to think about money. Mm-hmm. But I think if we've had players in the past that's come into the first team against Celtic or other teams and played really well for the. I know somebody mentioned Jamie Nessie. I know other players have done it. I know we've done it. Andy Little done it as well. He done it at right back, didn't he? If I remember rightly. Yeah. So I think he could come in. I think he'd be around experienced players. He wouldn't have any fear either. And I think he's got the ability, the trickery, and he's just got the balance. His balance is superb and he's running with the ball. So I think, and Nathan Patterson's done it as well against Celtic in the past. I think he'd be fine, but I don't think Gio would do that anyway.
Mm-hmm. Balogun played both games for Nigeria and played all 90 minutes, or was it just today? Both 90s for Nigeria. Now, Balogun's not exactly been Mr. Fitness like a lot of them this season's Mark. Are you surprised he played both 90s?
I'm quite surprised at that. Yeah, I think he struggles with like 2 games in a week. I think that's why we bring in Hollander for league games and play him in Europe. So I don't know. As I said, it's one of those ones, and he wants to play for his country. And you can't go like that to him. Do you know what? We'll bring him in a wee bit, and and because obviously he wants to represent his country, and you can't blame him for that. But
No.
I don't know. I mean, unless it's a case of likes of if there's a few that are 80% and one of these ones just get and give us everything you've got, empty the tank, leave everything on the pitch, and we'll try and rest you where we can.
Yeah.
But I think that it's got to be it's a must win on Sunday.
You surprised that, Scott?
What's that? Played 2
Balogun
games.
playing both 90s.
He's been in and out, so I think it's just in his minutes. I know he's injury prone, but I think we need to play him because I think he has to play on Sunday. But I'm just seeing that they didn't qualify to go to the World Cup Nigeria.
No.
It's just quite a harsh on the 3 of them, but at least they'll be here for the Sydney friendly, won't they?
Kind of worms that.
You start. Oh dear, we'll get in a lot of trouble for saying that. Linda watches all the time. Hello, Linda. How you doing? Where else are we? Let's. Hi. So, I'm trying to find it. Where is it?
I've asked you Tuesday question. Did you see the thing about Hollander? Kind of no moaning, but about being left at the European squad and
It was a strange one, wasn't it?
he wants more time. Is he out of contract? Does he still get a year?
No, he's still got a year or two to go. But I was surprised he was out of the European squad purely just for backup.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he was out long-term injury when the squad was decided, but he was due to come back in the sort of December, but it went to the January, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I think Gio's happy with slotting Lundstrom in there, so he doesn't really need to put another centre back in the bench.
He seems
Because
to be quite happy with
Bassey
Lundstrom,
can
doesn't
play
he?
as well at a push.
Yeah, he seems quite happy with just slotting people in there if he has to.
See, I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a
I
fan either.
like the back. I like Lundstrom sitting between the centre
I
backs.
do.
I
I
think
like
yeah,
him sitting between two, but I
like
don't like
the-
him sitting there as a centre half. I don't like it.
No, on a 4 and a
It's,
3 or a 3 or a
it's
5, aye.
Square pegs and round holes. I'm not a fan of it at all. Look, I would expect him to be unhappy. If be something wrong, see if he wasn't unhappy, I'd be more surprised if he wasn't. But
I'm no big Phil's biggest fan, to be honest with you. I think he's
yeah,
okay,
no,
but
I think he's a
I
smashing
think
good
a lot
centre-half.
of people do think he's the best defender we've got. I'm not one of them, but everybody's got their own opinion, so that's
think
just the way
probably-
football
I've
is.
always said he's the best penalty box defender
Yeah.
we've got.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
more the
probably,
issue
aye.
is
Defender.
that it's come out that he's unhappy. I think's more the point rather than the fact that he's unhappy. As I said, I would be happy if I was dropped for a European squad, and I think it's been one of the ones he's looked at fitness and he's thought, right, well, we've maybe got a game, 2 games, maybe maximum 4 games. We can maybe do without him.
CGM does make a good point there, Mark.
That's nice.
Brian,
Hold on.
about Hollander.
Let's try to find
Yeah,
it.
that well, pretty much exactly what I was saying. Yeah, I see it.
You see, Hollander was left out because everybody, including us, thought Dortmund would
Yeah,
horses out, and that's probably true, to be fair, because nobody
Yeah.
else thought we'd beat Dortmund.
Yeah, I think there's an element of truth in that as well.
as I said, that's my point was that he's maybe going to have 2 games, i.e. the 2 Dortmund games, maximum probably 4, and he's thought, well, is he going to be fit? And maybe take him to game 2, game 3, he'll be properly fit. So I think that's more the reason he's been left out. I think that more importantly is that although he wasn't happy, how's it come out? Where's that come from?
Could be his
And how-
agent, it could be a
Yeah,
paper in Sweden, it could be anywhere.
that shouldn't be happening. That
It
shouldn't
happens,
be.
Mark, but if a player's not happy, they get information out. It doesn't matter who they play for. Information will come out. They will get out somewhere. No, journalists or agents are no
Yeah,
journalists.
no. But as I said, you'd hope a bit of professionalism there would be.
Maybe it's come out reverse psychology, he's trying to put a bit of pressure on the manager, but sometimes that doesn't work either.
I mean, I think Linda's comment here goes without saying, but of all the selections he's got to get right, it's this Sunday, isn't it, Scott?
It is, but I think it doesn't matter who he picks. The players have to turn up.
Yeah.
He can pick a team that everybody wants to play, but if 1 or 2 of them don't turn up, we'll struggle. So all the big players playing Sunday need to turn up. If Morelos is playing, he has to play well. The defence have to be able to defend. McGregor can't be making any mistakes, and each individual player has to play really well for us to go through and win this because, like I said earlier before we come on, if we win on Sunday, it sets us up for this month coming, which is a big month. If we don't win on Sunday, the heads could go down, and we don't want that.
This is my feelings. I don't care how we get there, Mark. If 3 points come our way on Sunday, that's all that matters, isn't it?
100%. 100%.
Doesn't matter how, does it?
No. It could be the ugliest game in the world. I'm not really caring. We need 3 points. Simple as that. As I said, and just to kind of reiterate what Kev was saying there, you can't have passengers in this game. There's no way anybody can coast. And I like the fact that Gio, if you're not doing it, Gio's no shy to make an early substitution.
No, he's done that previously. We've criticised him for subs, but sometimes these subs have done okay. But they're bringing on Roof for Morelos to get a bit of a boost, and then Roof scored the goal, didn't he, against Aberdeen. So it does work at times. And there's Nicholas Stubbin just saying, talking about Alan McGregor. I'm just hoping McGregor's made these mistakes and he's coming back to where he can play. But with Alan, we all know he's never been the greatest at cross balls. So we just hope we don't give him many set pieces, because that's my fear. I don't think we can defend set pieces great.
Yeah, I mean, is this a fair one? That means Arfield can't play because he's a constant passenger.
I think Scotty plays more defensively, no, Mark?
Yeah. It's. I think that's how it works well in Europe. It gives a wee bit of extra cover, tracking back and stuff like that defensively. But the last couple of games he's not been at it. I think over his career at Rangers, but it's been peaks and troughs, isn't it? He's been outstanding and undroppable at some points, and then.
I don't think he always turns up for big games, but
yeah, I do. But as I said, some other times, just like they said there, is like a passenger. Sometimes he's just it's almost like the game kind of passes him by. But I think he's a smashing player as well. And the problem is that sometimes a bit of sentimentality gets in the way, doesn't it? That he's one of our own and stuff. And but
I suppose the problem you've got though is if Arfield starts, who are you dropping?
Yeah, well, for me, it doesn't start because for me, you start people that are in form or somebody that can bring more to the game. I think that
Aribo's not been in form, recently. But for me, he starts.
But he's got a bit of magic. He can change a game in a turn, whereas Arfield's not got that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you could play Ramsey in the same position as Arfield, and I think he's capable of that wee bit of magic as well. So I can see why, even though Aribo's not been in great form since he come back from the African Cup of Nations, but he's got that in his locker, and he's got that in his locker. So even though he's maybe form wise is kind of quite similar to Arfield, that he's always got that he can change a game and with a dip of a shoulder, and he can beat a man and make something happen. Whereas I don't think Arfield's got that.
Not anymore,
no.
To be a bit more positive in the sense that we've got to remember it's Celtic we're playing, it's not Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Well, we beat them anyway. They beat Real Madrid at the
start. Yeah, but I mean, the point is, they're no great shakes either.
No.
They aren't, but they have beat us. And I know we won the great that night, but they have beat us, so they've got that mentality. They beat us in the past, and it was the last game they played. So they're getting a game. They're getting a game confident on Sunday, and they will attack, and they can score goals. Do you know what I mean? So they've scored more goals than this season. So we can't say we can't disrespect them. We have to respect them to a point because they're a decent side. But if Rangers turn up and play the way we can play, we should beat them. But we need to turn up. That's what we're saying.
And as you can see, folks, the boss man has got out of his bed.
His deathbed.
I was gonna be hosting tonight, and I was at work today, and I feel absolutely horrible. But I thought, do you know what I'll do, Bri? I'll come on for the last 10-15 minutes, and I'll just sit back, relax, let you host, and I'll try my best to answer some questions. So I know you've been doing the Q&A, but if anyone
like some tunes, Martin.
I would like to still be in my bed, but you know me, I love the limelight, don't I? So if anybody's got any questions or whatever, fire them in. Do you know what I meant to say? it's a Q&A, right? So it can be questions. It doesn't even need to be Rangers related. It can be, Mark, what age were
What's
you
the
when you
best
lost
medicine
the
for
bet?
Martin?
What age were you, Martin,
Nicholas
you lost
Dublin
the
asked a
bet?
question about like fairies earlier on. Answer that one, Sarah.
Ask about Calmac if you want. Ask about Calmac. Ask about
Maybe
anything.
it depends if the Turkish folk are getting sent to Baldon. Probably Baldon better than me, Baldon right enough, probably quicker, but you never know.
You could ask that as well, but honestly, I wouldn't have a clue. And by the way, Sharpie already, I'm on 2 minutes and he's already, look at him. I don't like chips, we all know this. Anyway, my apologies, Brian, my friend, you carry on.
No, you're fine. There was one there I was seeing. I'm trying to find it.
It's not
where is it?
CGM saying Martin needs some music to announce his arrival, is it?
Dun, dun,
I know
dun.
trumpets usually. Trumpets, innit?
Hold
Death
on,
March.
hold on. I'm announced. There we go. There you go.
Where is it?
So everybody, what's your thoughts on Pierrot?
Disgrace.
Absolute
Absolute
shambles.
disgrace.
Absolute shambles.
I've seen it happen over and over again.
Yeah, and they get away with it, so that's how they do it, because they know they can get away with it. They shouldn't, but they do get away with it.
Shocking.
We've also got a question for Nicholas Moore. What hair products do you use, Martin? Mostly Sweat. Sweat seems to work quite well.
I was going to say chippy grease,
I
but
was
you
going
don't
to
need
say
chip.
chip fat, aye.
Yeah. if you must know, I use the Aldi's own Head and Shoulders. That's what I use.
I use Mr. Sheen.
Brasso.
They're all cream, no?
They point trying to hang on to it. Just get it shaved. To see if it's gone, just get shot at it, man.
Your heat's waterproof anyway, isn't it?
It's just more face to wash, that's all.
Brian's still looking for that question.
Morning, Martin, he's saying.
Morning.
But
Who won the championship this year, Martin? Somebody's
Who won the
asking.
Arbroath.
Thanks, I think Kelly will nick it.
Kelly will
but
win it,
I like to see Arbroath do it, but I think
I would like to see Arbroath do it
McInnes
as
has
well.
got him playing well. I've seen him a few times and he's got him playing well.
there's too much in the locker, haven't they?
They've got all his shot front me Lafferty. They've got guys that can score goals.
Aye.
There's a question came in that I can answer. And I will bring it up, Brian, if that's okay with you, seeing as you're the
fire
boss
on.
tonight. Darren Stewart is asking, are Cammy and JD stepping back for good or just taking a break? Cammy left a wee while ago. Obviously, he's all noticed that he's not been on. Cammy left a wee while ago. JD took a wee break during the international break, but I can confirm that the Bald Alien is back. He will
The
be
bald
back
one.
with me on Sunday for the reaction to the Old Firm game. I might try and persuade him to do the Old Firm preview on Friday. But we'll see how that goes. But no, JD is back. So yeah.
Is the mannequin coming with him?
The mannequin will return. Yes, the mannequin.
It gives me the
will
creeps. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night. Whoa, what's that? Somebody standing over you.
Don't like JD like that.
It's a bald alien, isn't it?
know.
Baggy the creeps. Imagine waking up at night, just a wee bit of light shining on it. You'd think somebody was standing outside your bed. That's weird.
Right, now, actually, something has come in that I want to address. Sean, obvious question, I think, but what is all your opinion on Rangers Fans for Change? Now, Rangers Fans for Change put out a statement today. I don't know if any of you've seen it on Twitter.
I did.
Rangers Fans for Change private message the podcast on Twitter, asking if we would like to talk to them. I declined to answer them for the simple fact that I've done a wee bit of digging. I'm not going to go into what I found in my wee bit of digging because anybody can do it. But I don't know who they are. I don't know who runs it. I don't want to agree to do a show or whatever, have them on, and it turns out it's not Rangers fans, shall we put it that way? Because I don't know who runs it, and I don't want to be involved with something who I don't know who it is. That's it. It's for no other reasons than I've not got a Scooby who they are, care. And I know the obvious point on that as well. Have them on and you'll find out who they are. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
I think, Martin, if I know Heart and Hand said something about it, and so did 4 lads, and they're not entertaining them either, and the Rangers haven't entertained them, so I wouldn't either, unless other ones do it first because they're Rangers fan media, because they pay for the privilege, so let other ones do it first. If they do and you find out they're okay, then fire away, but I'd wait until Rangers engage them.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So you don't want to give a voice to a faceless entity, do you? It's just, it's no. Once they come out and we know exactly who they are and what they're all about, then possibly can come on and we can agree or disagree with them. But as I said, until you know exactly who it is, like Barton says, they might not even be Rangers fans. It might just be somebody at it. So that's fair play.
Listen, and Brian, they could very well be, a group of Rangers supporters who want Rangers to change. The change bit's always confused me. Is it the sectarian singing or whatever? Because if it's just the singing or whatever, fair enough. I'm on board with that. I've put on record many times. I don't like the sectarian singing. I don't like it when Rangers fans do it at games because it can hurt the club and because it's sectarian. It's as simple as that. I've never had my thoughts on that, even though previous events of the last few weeks, people on social media would have you believe that I love it. But no, I don't. I would like to see it eradicated. But setting Rangers deadlines. I mean, we've got, is it 6,000 followers, I think, on Twitter, something like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6,000 people watch our videos. I wouldn't dream of contacting Rangers, Brian, and saying, this is a question and we want to answer by this time. I would expect Rangers to tell me to fuck off.
They wouldn't even answer you.
I don't, you wouldn't even get an answer, let's be quite honest. I mean...
Dave King still getting an answer.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're in no position to set deadlines and, fair enough, ask questions, but you can't set a deadline. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
But obviously, that's just all about optics, isn't it? I mean, that's just we look as if we're forthright and we're trying to do stuff. So, but like you said, once you know who they are, then maybe that's a different story. But
absolutely fair enough.
You don't know. You don't know enough. You've not got enough information. You've not been informed of who these people are, or what they're doing, and what their agenda is. So, I think you've done the right thing. As I said, I would just lug them until such times as we know who they are. They've maybe stuck a couple of videos together and maybe had a few more statements and people that know who they are or know of them. Or do you know what I mean? I don't think it's. I could just go and buy 1,000 followers and 3,000 followers, and do you know what I mean? So it could be anybody.
You could answer Chris Stewart there, Martin. Sorry, Mark. What are they going to do if Rangers don't meet the deadline?
I know. See, this is the thing. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, look, I apologise, Brian. I've just come in.
No, fire away. It's fine.
He's brought on his soapbox.
Yeah.
This is one that's come in from Tommy Boy. Should we play Dynamo Kiev when everything settles down to raise funds for Ukraine?
Great shout.
Yeah.
I think it's a great shout.
Yeah.
And do you know what's even a better shout? Tommy spelt boy properly. I commend him for that. That's an even better shout. We like that.
I think in all seriousness, guys, that's a
great shout. Yeah,
that's a great question, isn't it?
Something historically we've done so over the years. So I think it's a great shout. Absolutely fantastic. And I'll tell you what, it'll be a sellout as well.
I would rather that, Brian, than a potential friendly in Australia. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I 100% agree with that, Martin. Any behind the scenes gossip from the recent stint in the press box, Martin?
Yes. Don't just wear a t-shirt. Don't just wear a t-shirt because it's fucking freezing, even on a hot day. That's basically. Do you know? Right. Okay. Obviously, as a few of people watching will know, I got press passes for the recent Old Firm B team game, courtesy of, it was William Urban that came to me and says, why didn't you contact Rangers, blah, blah, blah. And I did, and I showed up. Now, I was there at 11:30, right? I was there mega early because I wanted to get in, have a look, get my bearings about me, get a laptop set up, look like a professional prick, right? All that good stuff. Kerr was bringing Wally Irwin because Kerr was going to the game. Kerr, what time did you show up at?
10 minutes before kick-off, Martin.
10 minutes before kick-off. Yeah. And Kerr, who had the press passes?
Well, Irvin.
Why did you have them, Martin? Because who managed to get them for you? Because you couldn't get a
We're
printer.
not getting into all that. I'm not getting into all that. But
Who
no,
phoned me in the morning panicking because they didn't have a printer?
Yeah, I
Was
do
it
have a
Wally?
printer. Unfortunately, I just had no ink in it. So,
You're driving about your local area trying to find one, panicking.
yeah.
Well,
But
if it wasn't
anyway,
me getting it done for you, you wouldn't get in. So it doesn't matter if it was 10 minutes before kick-off or 10 hours before kick-off. I had the press passes.
obviously getting in. But no, look, I went in. It took me more about 5 minutes to find the press box. We found the press box. We sat down. I opened up the laptop and I'm trying to get it working, and Rangers scored and I missed the first goal. So there you go. So thanks for that, Kerr. But no, it was a good experience. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully I was going to try and do it for the Legends game, but I've not been feeling, as you can probably see by the colour in my face, I've not been feeling well the last couple of weeks. So I decided.
Did you ask any questions after the game? Did you leave that?
I got permission to go into the media room, but I didn't want to rock the boat. I just sat there, took it in, I had a look at how it all works. Basically, I shut out it, is what I'm essentially trying to say. I shut out it. I tried to nudge Wally Irwin to ask a wee question, because Wally Irwin knows all about the youth.
But he didn't want banned for the youth games.
No, but no. But the David McCallum I think he had a wee look at Wally. He go, "What the fuck are you doing in here?" Way. So no, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's something that hopefully, with everybody's support, if you keep watching, if you keep liking, if you keep subscribing, and Rangers see that we're getting views and interaction with people, it's something that we can do in the future.
And somebody's asking, did you meet Broxy? Nicholas Dublin asking.
No, I didn't, because I was in the press box. I wasn't pitch side.
I mean, this is a follow-up to the lovely Sydney friendly that you were mentioning, Martin. We should do our own tournament and invite Hamburg, Kiev, and either a Premiership or team or somebody else, and that would sell out. How would you think of that?
Yeah,
100%.
That would make you 3 million.
Yeah.
I think even just playing Hamburg would make money.
Yeah,
playing them home and away.
100%. It's just a mad.
What's your opinion on Will Smith slapping that other guy the other day?
I would have slapped him.
Will Smith, so would I.
I would have slapped him. TV cameras or no.
He's a comedian, Mark. Man up.
Nah, I'd have slapped him.
See, be brutally honest, the guy's a comedian. He made a joke. Will Smith clearly is in some kind of mental limbo now, and I don't want to slag the guy because I think there's obviously something seriously wrong with him now. I don't know if it's with his relationship or whatever's going on in the background, but to go, whether it was staged or it wasn't, if it was staged, it looked stupid, but it got what they wanted. If it wasn't staged, Will Smith, have a word with yourself, man. You can't go up slapping people. I seen somebody had wrote on Twitter, look, see if that's The Rock or that's some other big massive guy doing that. Does Will Smith walk up and slap him? I don't think so.
Exactly.
So,
my opinion is Will Smith was getting annoyed because his wife was getting
Will Smith was
abused, right? Abused by a comedian. He wasn't getting annoyed when she was jumping about with 20-year-olds, was he?
Well, I mean, that's
man up
for us to talk about. Yeah.
Martin, I can't believe you missed this comment.
Invite Davy Robertson over to join in Real Cashmere. Listen, I would walk to Cashmere to ask Davy Robertson, but I just haven't. Actually, it's honestly the greatest feeling of my life ever was interviewing Davy Robertson. Right, for a previous podcast, I interviewed Davy Robertson. It was the happiest and scariest time of my life because he's my favourite player, and I also have Davy Robertson's phone number, which I'm not going to brag about all my famous friends, but I've got Davy Robertson's and Stephen Purden's phone number. I mean, does it get more realistic?
And you not even had them on the Rabble yet? That's a disgrace.
I'm too fear to message him.
What's the point of having his phone number then?
So I can scroll through and go, I've got Davy Robertson's phone number.
Apparently Will Smith slapping and resulted in Morelos getting a man.
Sorry, I just seen somebody tiled his house. It's honestly David Robertson, and I've had these arguments with people a million times. There's been no better left back in my lifetime that's played for Rangers than Davy Robertson.
He was a good
Santa
left back.
Papa,
It was good.
Arthur Newman, no. Who?
Arthur Newman every day of the week.
Listen, you can get to fuck.
Hell yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
I would
sorry.
still say David Robertson caused that goal away in Marseille. He was at fault. Passed the ball across the park. They scored for it. Do you know what I mean?
It wasn't his fault. It was the ball's fault.
It was the park's fault. The grass was
No,
cut. It would have went faster.
It was a really good player, David Robertson.
It was a brilliant player, yeah, 100%.
Then he went to Leeds.
Discuss. This is
Which was
the
poor.
this was announced as the referee for Sunday.
Yeah.
I would say he's the best of a bad bunch because he won't get intimidated.
Silly
You
call.
agree?
I don't
Terrible.
really like. All referees are poor in Scotland.
I don't think it matters who the referee is. I really
Because they're
don't
all
think-
rotten. No, you're 100% right. All rotten. Every single one of them.
I don't think it's even the bias. I just think they're basically crap.
Rubbish.
I think they're crap. I think they've
Yeah.
got a brain to be biased.
No, I genuinely don't think they are biased. I just think they're rubbish. What more can you say about referees that we haven't already pointed out? Before it just starts sounding like you're attacking them because you want to attack them. You're not. They're just rubbish.
I will say, but I do think referees do listen to certain things. The media, when you preach so long about stuff, they might make them think twice about certain things. Celtic have preached so long about Rangers constantly getting decisions. They made documentaries. They said this. The papers have started it as well. Pundits have started it up in Scotland. So I think if something goes on for so long, even though they might not want to, but it does get into your mind, doesn't it? I'm not saying they're biased, but it does get
Subliminal
into your mind.
messages.
Aye.
I will say it is. It's 2-0 to Scotland, so Scotland are doing no bad over in Austria. That's a good.
The managers, their manager's leaving after the game, isn't he, Austria?
Aye.
Can we get Ryan Jack off then?
Well, you would like to. That
Get
terrified
him
me
off, get him off.
when I seen Ryan Jack was in the starting lineup. I went, oh no, that can't be. Brian, obviously that's over the hour, so we're going to finish up. I'll let you do all the outros and stuff, but just before we go, I'll ask you, because I've seen it in the comments, and I apologise if you've already spoke about it. The game on Sunday, we'll be doing a preview on Friday night live at 7:30. Mark, no protests on Sunday?
I hope not. You'd think that it's too important a game for the club, and do you know what? For us as fans, it's too important, I think, to be fanning about and messing about. I understand the whole protest thing, and do you know what? If that's the only way that the club is going to listen, then by all means do it. I think Sunday's too big a game. I think we all need to be pulling in the same direction, and I think it's far too big for the club and far too big for us as fans. This needs to be 3 points, and we need to be 100% up for it.
Right.
I can't agree more. We need to be. All the energy needs to be into supporting the team
100%.
and getting the 3 points. That's all that matters on Sunday. That's the number one priority. Anything else can be left to the side for one day, I would like to think. As I said, I think everybody agrees that this Sydney Cup shouldn't go ahead, but for the sake of Sunday, we just need to focus on the team, support them, and get the 3 points.
Kerr, I know you love a protest. I know you absolutely adore a protest.
Not a protest.
Oh, he loves a protest, this Kerr. He's even getting me to come and help him in April. But there you go. What do you think?
If I'm going to protest, make sure it's before the game. Don't do it at the start of the second half. But I would say if I protest on Sunday, it's the biggest game they can protest at, so they might actually will do it. I hope they don't, because I think we have to concentrate on the game first and foremost. But it is probably the biggest game. It's on TV, isn't it? I know the Dundee game is on, but it's a big high-profile game, so I think I was getting message out more. So we'll see. But if they do it, somebody does say they'll do it at the semi-final. They'll probably do it there as well. See if the club actually come out and say something, the protest might end. But it's the reason being the club's not come out and even said a word. So what the fans do, we don't want Sydney to happen. I'm sorry for ranting, but we don't want Sydney to happen. But the club haven't even said anything about it. And I think that's quite poor on the club's behalf. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. If it happens, it happens. But we need to concentrate on the game.
I know. And listen, next season we might be paying a wee bit more interest to Dundee United on the podcast. I can't disclose why. Karen knows, but I can't disclose why. But let's just say it involves a family member and it involves signing for them. So we shall discuss that next season. Brian, I will let you do the outros and the videos and all that. So
Yep.
say thank you to everybody. Remind them of all the stuff that we do. Make it good because I'm watching.
Thanks very
pleasure.
much. Thanks very much.
What age are you, Brian? Is 12?
Jeez, you know. I'd like to thank all the commenters and everybody that watches the podcast. Remind you that we're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. There's the membership on YouTube if you'd like to join and support the pod. And thank you to Mark for his time and Scott, and then Martin for the 5-10 minutes.
I had to bring the looks. I had to bring the looks.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks to everybody for watching, and the live show will be on Friday at 7:30. Thank you.